My name is Milesende Colomb. I am from New Orleans, and I was identified a few years ago, 3 years ago, as a descendant of two of the families who were sold by the Jesuits in 1838 to save the failing and almost bankrupt Georgetown University. It was not a secret. But it wasn't anything that anybody was running around talking about it. It was well known with the Jesuits and within the university, and there had been studies about it and folks written about it. It came up in 2015 with the students at Georgetown, students of color and black, multi-generational African American students in particular, that there was a lack of attention paid by the administration and the faculty to issues that were important in black lives. Black lives were not mattering on Georgetown's campus to the black students on Georgetown's campus. So 2015, in September of 2015, they had a sit-in at the president's office. And the sit-in was to demand that there be some changes on campus, that there be some changes in hiring of black faculty, that there be some changes in building names, that there be an African American studies major, that there be more studies on slavery, and that for the students on Georgetown's campus. An alumni wrote to the administrators of the school and said, where are the descendants of these people who were sold in 1838? The administration's answer was, oh, they went down there to the swampland, and everybody died real quick. They had malaria and yellow fever down there, so everybody died. And the response to that was, well, yes, everybody did die, but people died on the Titanic in the middle of the ocean, and they left descendants. So you cannot say that 270 plus people were sent to Louisiana and everybody died with no descendants. So he starts looking for descendants. 3 years later, not going into a big story, the Georgetown Memory Project has identified almost 9,000 descendants from those original 314 people who were sold. 4,000 of us live today between the ages of 0 and 107. So we are a clearly definable group of people, and Georgetown University is in and of itself a microcosm. So this year, a microcosm of America. The history of Georgetown and the United States of America is intricately tied up and continues to be so today. So this year, 2019, some of the freshman students who were on campus in 2015 were about to graduate, and they were not satisfied that the administration and the university and the students had done enough to ensure that there would be generational institutional memory. You know, like if you go to HBCU, you know everything about your school. Well, that was lacking on Georgetown's campus. And that the memory of what happened in 2015 was going to be lost. So the students were concerned about how do we continue to ensure that future generations of students are invested with this history of Georgetown University, slaveholding, human trafficking, right up to the end of the Civil War. Sure, there's some professors who are talking about it in classes, and sure, there's an African American Studies department, and Georgetown is doing what it's always done. But what is the university's interaction with the descendant community, other than to say we offer you legacy status if you can get into Georgetown, if you're smart enough? I was smart enough. So I'm a student at Georgetown University. They took a leap of faith on me. I was 63 years old at the time. I'm 65 years old now. We passed the referendum because the best way to make people care about something is when you ask them to put money into it. And for 8 semesters at Georgetown University, just like our students come in and they pay $27,722 per semester for tuition, they will add 0.1% of that, which is $27.20 to that, and we will then form a student and descendant partnership. Is anybody gonna roll up and get a check for $27.20? No. But what we can do is build an endowment at Georgetown University. A student endowment so that 181 years ago, the Jesuits were enslaving people and selling people so that Georgetown College could exist and Georgetown University and all its international glory could exist today. So that from this point forward, 180 years into the future, we can assume that Georgetown will exist. So 180 years into the future, we will have created a 360-degree change from enslaving and selling people to ensure the survival of the university, to university students, the administration, and the Jesuits hopefully having stepped up to do their part and their responsibility, because if students can say, we have $27.20 to put into this a semester, then what's going on with y'all? So, the referendum was overwhelmingly voted yes for by the students. We had a 66% turnout of votes on the campus by students. The last student government vote, these young people open a computer and they press a button and they vote. The last voting that happened on the campus, the turnout was 23%. So we had a 66% turnout of voters. Why? Because they had something that they were invested in, something that they cared about. If they didn't know about it in the beginning, by the time election day rolled around, they knew about it. We also encouraged the opposition. Oppositional voices are important voices, but if all you have to say is no, it's not a good idea, because we think it's a bad idea, and you don't have a plan to say, well, we could do something else, then you're just being a negative ninny. Shut up and go vote no. That's what you go do. We're okay with that. But I would like to finish my statement because I always like to name and call ancestors into a place and a space. I am very, very appreciative of you all inviting me here tonight and having me here tonight. The fellowship and the community has been wonderful. Like I said, I come from New Orleans. That in the past was like an all-black space. So coming here to Georgetown University, Washington, D.C., not so much. I am not well connected to, being on campus is okay, but them kids is not my people. But I would like to take this moment to reflect back to June 17th, 2017. which was one of the defining moments that brought when students came back to Georgetown. They were deeply affected by the murder of Cynthia Hurd, 54 years old. Susie Jackson, 87 years old. Ethel Lance, 70 years old. Reverend DePayne, Middleton Doctor, 49 years old. Honorable Reverend Clementa Pinckney, 41 years old. Tywanza Sanders, 26 years old. Reverend David Simmons Sr., 74 years old. Reverend Sharonda Singleton, 45 years old. Myra Thompson, 59 years old. And this is a little poem by Emily Dickinson. And it says, "And if I go while you're still here, know that I live on, vibrating through a different measure, behind a thin veil you cannot see through. You will not see me, so you must have faith. I will wait for the time when we can soar together again, both aware of each other. Until then, live your life. And when you need me, just whisper my name in your heart, and I will be there." So everything I do and every reason that I am here and what I do for the rest of my life is for my ancestors who had no choice and they had no voice. I have a choice and I have a voice. So, thank you for having me tonight.